What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I cannot tell you how excited I am to be making this video. I am giddy like a schoolgirl right now. So to frame this, as you well know if you've been following my channel, I started Trenbolone at 300 milligrams per week about 6 weeks ago or so. And I happen to be one of the many people who has the unfortunate side effect of having their appetite absolutely crushed by Trenbolone. I had intended on bulking. I started the Tren. It crushed my appetite and I started experiencing rapid weight gain. So when I started the Tren, I was at 200, like right around 200 pounds in the evening. And then in a period of like 2 weeks, I dropped to 190 in the evening. So I basically dropped 10 pounds in 2 weeks. You guys have been seeing the update videos I've been doing in the gym, just freakishly dry and vascular. Many people have said that it's the best look that I've maybe ever had. My legs are disgusting looking, honestly. They look like somebody stuck a needle and just sucked all of the fluid out and just shrink wrapped my veins onto the bones. I am so freaking dry and lean. I don't think my midsection has ever been this lean. The lowest weight I saw during this period of time was 189 pounds in the morning, which fucking freaks me out when that happens. So what I decided to do, without realizing what I was going to stumble onto, was I decided to add in a little MK677 because I knew that it would stimulate my appetite. I've used it in the past for very short periods of time to stimulate appetite, and it has worked phenomenally, although admittedly I don't feel amazing on it. So that's going to be the one caveat to this. And so I said, you know, what my plan was to put the MK677 back in and just eat massive amounts of protein. So I was already really diced and peeled, and I thought maybe I can squeeze out some anabolism. I can grow some muscle during this phase when I'm on all these anabolics, and I can add some muscle on top of this really peeled frame without putting on a bunch of body fat, right? That's always like the delusional goal. I want to bulk and gain no body fat. So that's what I set out to do. So in case you're watching this video because of the title, currently I'm taking 300 milligrams of Trenbolone E, 300 milligrams of Masteron E, and 200 milligrams of Testosterone E. And for reasons, you have to just know my channel. I'm also currently on 2 IUs of growth hormone. So 4 days ago, I weighed 190.2 pounds in the evening, and I started the MK677. I'm taking 10 milligrams twice a day. I may actually reduce that to 10 milligrams once a day because it's working so good. In the last 4 days, I went from 190 pounds in the morning to 202 pounds, 190 pounds in the evening to 202 pounds in the evening, which is the biggest I have ever been in life. So I finally jumped up over the 200 pound mark. The biggest I think I've ever been is like 200.5. And so last night when I stepped on the scale, I was literally speechless. I just walked out of the bath. We have like a little water closet, like where our toilet is. I walked out into the bathroom, and I was just staring at the mirror. And my wife goes, "What is it?" And I'm like, "I weigh 202 pounds. I just gained 12 pounds in 4 days." Impossible, right? I know what you're saying. Like, dude, you're a water balloon. You got fat. Like, how can this possibly be? Obviously, I did not gain 12 pounds of muscle. Probably, I don't know where the weight is going. The only thing I can imagine is that I just put 12 pounds of food in my colon. I think it's possible that I was eating so few calories. I think I was probably in 1,000 calorie a day deficit when I lost all that weight. I was barely eating at all. The Tren had hammered my appetite. So I think that a lot of it is just food in my colon. I don't know what's accounting for it, but this morning I sat down to try to figure out what is going on in my body right now, because obviously with all the extra calories, my workouts have a lot more endurance, my strength is up. And so I sit down to figure out what in the hell is MK677 really doing. That's what this video is about, because MK677 possibly just became the absolute go-to compound to use anytime you were running Trenbolone. So, first of all, what is MK677? MK677 is a ghrelin agonist. That's what it is. So before we go any further, let's first figure out what is ghrelin. Do we want it? Ghrelin is a multifaceted gut hormone which activates its receptor, growth hormone secretagogue receptor, GHSR. Ghrelin's hallmark functions are its stimulatory effects on food intake, fat deposition, and growth hormone release. Ghrelin is famously known as the hunger hormone. However, ample literature indicates that the functions of ghrelin go well beyond its role as an oriexogenic signal. Here we have reviewed some of the most recent findings on ghrelin and its signaling in animals and humans. So, we've got ghrelin that turns on our appetite, and if you're like me and you can't eat on certain compounds, obviously this is going to be a very good thing for bulking. So ghrelin is a growth hormone secretagogue that activates GHSR in the gut. What else does it do? Ghrelin regulates glucose homeostasis by inhibiting insulin secretion and regulating gluconeogenesis and gluconeolysis. Ghrelin signaling decreases thermogenesis to regulate energy expenditure. So it decreases thermogenesis and makes the calories that you eat burn off less rapidly. So it better regulates your energy expenditure. Ghrelin improves the survival prognosis of myocardial infarction by reducing sympathetic nerve activity. So it increases your likelihood of surviving a fucking heart attack, which seems positive. Ghrelin regulates bone formation and metabolism by modulating proliferation and differentiation of osteoblasts. Ghrelin, of course, is also going to be involved in cancer development and metastasis. So cancer cells are going to take advantage of pretty much anything that creates growth. That's how they function. So growth hormone itself can speed up cancer proliferation rate. Obviously, ghrelin is going to be another example of that. And so that's always going to be a predictable, a negative thing when you're dealing with something that promotes growth in the body. So we've got MK677, which is a ghrelin agonist. When you take MK677, your body creates more ghrelin, which improves your appetite, makes sure you want to eat more calories, but it has the added benefits of being cardioprotective, of helping to balance out your blood sugar, and by reducing thermogenesis to regulate energy expenditure and bone formation. So there's a lot of other peripheral fucking things that ghrelin is doing for you, despite just increasing your appetite. So that made me curious. How does MK677 and ghrelin work? And this is the most exciting point of this entire fucking little research project that I've been doing today. So, Trenbolone is obviously my favorite hormone. It is, to me, the end-all be-all of steroids. It's good at doing everything. It's good at building muscle. It's good at cutting fat. It's good at making you strong as a fucking ox. It's good at producing massive sexual prowess. It's good at building incredible confidence. It's good at making you aggressive. It's good at promoting endurance in the gym. To me, As I've said a million times on this channel, Trenbolone is the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. It is the end-all, be-all steroid. It should be in every... I run it year-round because it is just literally fucking ambrosia. But it has this horrible negative rap, and so I've been trying to figure out how to take what is clearly the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden and turn it into something that is tolerable, because it does have a lot of potent negative side effects. So one of the negative side effects is it crushes my appetite. Now we have MK677 to counteract that. One of the negative side effects is it causes me to mass produce prolactin, which creates decadic. It creates all of these negative psychological and physiological effects in the body. But we have another miracle drug, cabergoline, to offset that. Trenbolone can cause a lot of negative mood. It can cause a lot of brooding, depression, irritability, aggression, emotional lability. There's a lot of negative psychological factors to Tren, but we have Masteron to offset that. So what is left? Well, there's two things that the bros are going to tell you. One of those things is that it's hepatotoxic. But they're full of shit, and I've already done multiple videos proving that Trenbolone is not fucking hepatotoxic. So we can take hepatotoxicity out of the equation. The final negative that Trenbolone carries is the purported effect of being neurotoxic. That's at the end of the day what everybody will land on. There's going to be a bunch of fucktards in the comment section on this video right here going, Trenbolone's neurotoxic. You can't fucking run it long term. It's going to cause you to have all of these problems. Guess what, bitches? MK677 alleviates that problem too. Enter this study. MK677, a ghrelin agonist, alleviates amyloid beta related pathology in 5XFAD mice, an animal model of Alzheimer's disease. Boom, bitches! So when all of you people are out there, John Jewett, everybody's out there going, yeah, Trenbolone is neurotoxic. You're going to get dementia. You're going to get Alzheimer's disease because Trenbolone is going to cause you to have a buildup of beta amyloid plaques, which supposedly leads to neurotoxicity. So let's assume, for the sake of this video, that that's true. Let's say I'm going to go ahead and grant you, which I'm not, but let's say I was willing to do that and say, okay, fine, Trenbolone is neurotoxic because it causes the buildup of beta amyloid plaques, which is a known or a suspected predictor in Alzheimer's disease. So like we know that Trenbolone can crush your appetite, we have a solution. We know that Trenbolone can raise your prolactin, we have a solution. We know that Trenbolone can negatively affect your mood, we have a solution. What we finally need is a solution to the possibility that Trenbolone is neurotoxic. And here we have this. Science alert, try to stay awake. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder characterized by cognitive deficits, neuroinflammation, and neuronal death. The primary pathogenic cause is believed to be the accumulation of pathogenic amyloid beta assemblies in the brain. Ghrelin, which is a peptide hormone predominantly secreted in the stomach, is an endogenous ligand for the growth hormone secretagogue receptor GHSR1A. MK677 is a ghrelin agonist that potently stimulates the GHSR1A ghrelin receptor. Interestingly, previous studies have shown that ghrelin improves cognitive impairments and attenuates neuronal death and neuroinflammation in several neurological disorders. So for the layman in the audience, what that just said is that, so what we have here is that MK677 agonizes the release of ghrelin, and ghrelin attenuates neuronal death, neuronal inflammation, and has a protection and a reversing ability for multiple neurological disorders. However, it is unknown whether MK677 can affect amyloid beta accumulation or amyloid beta neurological disorders. However, it is the mediated pathology in brains of patients with Alzheimer's disease. So if you already have Alzheimer's disease, we don't know for certain that it's going to reverse it. Therefore, we have examined the effects of MK677 administration on Alzheimer's related pathology. So what they did is they set out to study if you have a person, or in this case a rat, who already has Alzheimer's disease, what happens if you give them MK677 to secrete more ghrelin? Will it offset the disease? And this is what they found. The histological analyses indicated that MK677 treated Alzheimer's mice. The treated mice showed a reduction in amyloid beta deposition, gliosis, and neuronal and synaptic loss in deep cortical layers, and inhibited the decrement of p-CREB levels in dentate gyrus of the hippocampus compared to vehicle-treated, or that's placebo-treated mice. Our results showed that activation of the ghrelin receptor with MK677 inhibited the amyloid beta burden, neuroinflammation, and neurodegeneration, which suggests that MK677 might have potential as treatment of the early phase of Alzheimer's disease. Mic fucking drop moment. So now we have a situation where we can craft the perfect fucking steroid cycle using what is undeniably the best hormone ever fucking designed by any person ever. So you've got Trenbolone with all of its amazing effects. And if you use the right drugs, which is cabergoline to offset prolactin, Masteron to offset mental, moody, bitchy problems, MK677, if necessary, to offset the crushed hunger cravings, while taking the MK677, you also prevent any possible buildup of amyloid plaques that you could be getting through either A, the Trenbolone molecule itself, or B, the lack of sleep induced by Trenbolone. And furthermore, even if you already fucking have Alzheimer's disease, the ghrelin is so effective in what it does is that it will actually start reducing the buildup of the amyloid beta plaques and reduce neuronal death and neuronal inflammation. It actually has not only prophylactic but reparative functions in the brain. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I have finally found the end-all, be-all way to run the God particle, the God hormone, the greatest hormone ever conceived by man. 17-beta Trenbolone will help you to accomplish any and all of your bodybuilding goals in a fucking bottle. Now, obviously, you want to run it with a test base and all these other things, but when you combine all of the drugs that I just mentioned, you have a way to take this hormone that has the potential to do so many positive things, and you can strip away all of its negatives and leave it in its beautiful, perfect form to help lift you up in life. So, hopefully this has been entertaining. Hopefully this has been informative. I would love to see in the comments section if anyone is actually already doing this. I did zero research on YouTube. Maybe this is something Derek or somebody has already talked about. I have a hard time believing that I'm the first person to find this study, but it seems possible because there's so much hate for this compound in the bodybuilding community. So many people just disregard it as something that's just not worth their time, and I've just never been that person. When I find something that has extreme value, like for example my wife, who has extreme value to me, she comes with a lot of fucking baggage, guys. She got a lot of fucking problems. But I didn't just quit on her because she had problems. I have found ways to unfuck various different things that she experiences in life because of her upbringing. And what was left behind after we shed away all of these problems that her upbringing created is this remarkably beautiful, amazing woman. And we have that in Trenbolone. We have this remarkably beautiful, amazing, immaculate, godly hormone that can do all of these unbelievable things. And if we just stop judging it for its imperfections, if we just embrace it and love it for who it is and take like 4 or 5 other drugs alongside it, then we can truly unlock its potential and alleviate all the negatives. So there you have it. I definitely will have more videos coming up on this topic very soon. As always, comments in the section below, and we'll see you on the next one.